Hello there. Okay, I'm just checking my screen here, so please bear with me. This is my first time going live, so I'm going to grab my little notes here. And for those that are here or that will join or maybe watch on the replay, I want to welcome you. My name's Veronica, and what I talk about on my channel is gardening, sourdough starter, which is making bread and so on, and also real talk. So I'd like to know what brought you to my channel, and I'd like to welcome you. I have a lot of people that show up for the gardening tips, the shorts that I create. So I'd love to know what was your reasoning for stopping by my channel. Most of all, welcome. All right. So again, hello friends. If you are catching this live, please say hi in the chat and tell me where you're watching from. I'm Veronica. I'm in Northern Nevada. And this is my very first live, if you can't tell. So yes, I'm a little bit nervous, but please bear with me. But most importantly, I am glad you are here. So again, I have a quick question. I'd like to know, how to serve you today. Please type garden, bread, or real talk. What brought you to my channel? That's what I'd like to know, and that helps me with creating additional content. Okay. All right. So again, welcome. If you just got in here, please let me know what brought you to my channel, which one of my shorts piqued your interest. And I'm just gonna go ahead and move on with the information that I came here to share. So if you're new to my channel, just know my channel is a soft place to land, where I like to just keep it simple, we keep it real, and we take small steps, because as we know, we are living in a world that is moving very fast and lots of changes, and it's causing people to feel really uncertain. So when you come in here, this is a place where we're going to slow down and take things really slow, soft, and find different ways to go on with life where you're able to develop clarity. All right, so when you usually see some of my shorts, it's usually about growing food from kitchen scraps, less waste, more food. Another one of my topics is sourdough and real food, because it's doable, it's affordable, and there's no pressure. And another one of my topics is gentle, real talk. So what I talk about in those videos and shorts, it's about boundaries, it's about healing, it's about real life situations, including incarceration topics, with compassion. And honestly, it's all connected. It's about peace, it's about stability, it's about choosing a softer way forward. So again, if you're just coming in, please let me know in the chat what brought you here, and what are some of the shorts or the videos that piqued your interest. I'd love to know that. And also where you're coming in from. Again, I'm here in Northern Nevada. So please drop that in the chat. I truly would appreciate it. So, again, I started sharing because in these uncertain times, I know a lot of people are tired of stress, tired of pressure, tired of feeling like they've got to do everything perfectly. And we are humans. This is not a perfect world. It will never be a perfect world. And I think we have to get grounded and get back to basics, doing things that make you happy, bring you joy, and can bring joy to others without compromising your peace. So, with that being said, I'm here for the small wins. Say, for example, a green onion. If you've never gardened before, you're like, where do I start? I don't have any tools, I don't have any supplies. If you've purchased a green onion from the grocery store, when you've used it, or you can just take it straight from from your bag and just get a glass, fill it, with some water up to the white portion. Use what you want off of the green onion. Or you may have used it, just throw the white part and the roots in some water, and you'll be amazed at how fast the green part, the green onion, will start to regrow again. And something about just starting with simple items and just seeing the simple grow, it encourages patience, and it kind of takes your mind off some of the stressful things in life. It's something simple, and you learn how this is a way that you can save in the future, because you can continue to grow. It will multiply many times, and you can go ahead and transplant into some soil. So again, I'm here for the small wins, and I hope you are too. So if we're, talking about a loaf of bread that feeds you for days, a routine that helps you breathe again, baking bread, it can be intimidating, but once I started, it wasn't so intimidating, especially, creating your sourdough starter from something as simple as flour and distilled water or bottled water. It could be a wheat flour or just regular flour, and just seeing how that can cause your bread or your baked good to rise. And it's again from something, simple, and it, creates something soft, and it does encourage a softer life. If you decide to go ahead and start making your bread, it causes you to, okay, I have to slow down. I have to, plan ahead. But if you're using a bread machine, it pretty much does all the work for you. You're just gathering the ingredients and, checking on it, being able to see that, bread rise and so on. It's just, something magical about it. And again, it's something simple, a simple part of life, but it creates a softness where you're not a part of the hustle. Um, gotta go out. Oh, I gotta hurry up. It's just something, coming from simple ingredients, creating something that creates softness within you, maybe within your family, just being able to enjoy fresh bread. So, as I mentioned, about, for example, the green onion, that is something that, is calming. So, again, that is one of the easiest starts. I think that was one of the first things I began, placing in water instead of just tossing it out, and just, watching it grow, on a windowsill. So, again, those little white roots, that's the magic part. You don't need a garden. You don't need fancy supplies. It's just some water, a windowsill, and a glass. So, Of course, you would want to change the water, every couple days. And if, for example, you were running into a situation where you did not, have the time, maybe you want to, start composting. You could, instead of throwing that away, you could throw it, in your compost bin. And that is another one of your one of the things that I talk about is composting with red worms. So again, that is something that, it creates a softness in it. Believe it or not, many things will regrow inside of your compost bin. It's easy when you're ready to use the compost to separate that and, replant that. And again, you're growing from those kitchen scraps. Excuse me. Grab some water here. So, speaking of those kitchen scraps, there are some other items that you can use, similar things such as, a celery base, garlic, even cabbage cores. Um, if, for example, like if you eat collard greens or mustard greens, those stems you can regrow. Roots from those, especially if you're using organic. Some of them, some vegetables or fruits won't regrow for various reasons. So, if you've seen my shorts, I love a good surprise sprout. So, again, when I was talking about the composting, many times things will grow in that compost. So sometimes you will get a surprise sprout. And again, it's a surprise and it usually brings me happiness. So tell me in the chat, what scraps do you usually throw away that you might try growing? Onion, celery, garlic, lettuce. I'd love to know. So please drop that in the chat. All right. So, stuff like this is why my work looks the way it does. I help people create systems that bring calm and follow through. And sometimes that starts with something as small as a cup on a windowsill. So, let me give you a tiny soft reset you can do today because peace isn't always a big lifestyle change. Sometimes it's three small steps. So, for example, um, I could, give you a mini plan. Say if you were wanting to get, some things organized, you want to start growing some things, but you don't want the overwhelm. You don't want the pressure to produce or to produce a lot in a short amount of time. So here's a mini plan. So, one small food action, start with one scrap and water. And of course, change that water every couple days, but you'll be amazed what you'll see within a couple days, let alone the first 7 days, the first week. So, one small action. Say you're working on, decluttering. Maybe you're like me, you're going to school full time, you're working, you're, doing family things and so on, and you're trying to balance time. So, one small action. You want to get organized? Try clearing one tiny surface, just one. That may be your kitchen counter, that may be your nightstand. And what you would do is maybe set a timer, 5 minutes a day, and you just move from one, whether that's that nightstand or that kitchen counter, you move from one surface to the next. Just one a day, 5 minutes a day. You'll be amazed at how fast and how much you accomplish in just those 5 minutes a day. And it won't feel overwhelming or feel like a lot of pressure. Maybe you want to work on a health action. So maybe, one small action like um, drinking more water. Maybe, you're a person that doesn't like to drink water at all. You may drink, juices and everything else but water. Maybe start off with 1 cup, just 1 cup, and increase it maybe daily and see how you come with, your goal. Or not or, but maybe or, you need some downtime. Try taking a 5 minute quiet break. So just find a time that's good for you and just 5 minutes, just quiet time to yourself. And you'll be amazed at how that will help calm, your nervous system and help you feel more present. So please type soft reset in the chat if you want me to make this a printable checklist. I'd be more than happy to do that for you. All right, so getting on to the other section that I made content on, gentle real talk, boundaries and peace. All right, so let's do a little gentle real talk because a lot of you found me from my hard truth shorts, especially the ones that are related to incarceration or possibly dating people that are incarcerated and dealing with those situations. So as you may know, I talk about real life situations including incarceration topics because people deserve honesty without the shame. We all have different things that maybe not make us feel the best. But again, this channel is about softness. This channel is about encouragement and being able to break down things into small chunks to make them doable. So I, focus on trying to keep it supportive. So here are 3 general truths that protect peace. Boundaries are not punishment. Their protection. They protect you. They protect your feelings. They protect how you navigate this world. Consistency matters more than promises. So, you know, don't try to promise a lot of things. Think about what and when and how you can show up consistently. That may mean you may have to tell someone, may I get back to you? I need a moment or a few moments to think about this and see how I could weave this into my schedule instead of making promises and they may end up being broken promises. And number 3 for today, never trade your stability for someone else's potential. Again, like I said, I tend to make content on people that are, dealing with people that are incarcerated. And sometimes that may look like people dating or even potentially preparing to marry or are married to people that are incarcerated. And many times these people are introduced by others and have not met in person. So, with this statement, never trade your stability for someone else's potential. Yes, they may have potential, but you need some time to navigate and to, you know, observe them in the outside world, observe family members, and so on. You know, people can talk a good game when they are in an environment that allows them a lot of time to be creative with their pitches or their responses, where sometimes we tend to live in a world that is super uber busy, where we don't have the time to always process things and take times to really fully think about and contemplate things. And sometimes people that are incarcerated, they play on that. And I don't want to see anyone go through that. Or if you have experienced that, there are ways to work through that. So just know that, I do support people that are navigating those type of changes in life. So if you're working on boundaries this year, just type peace in the chat. I'd appreciate it. All right. So just know this is also a part of what I do. I help people turn emotional overwhelm into clear next steps, especially during life transitions. And right now, I think we are all dealing with various life transitions, especially if you're living here in America, especially if you are a Black woman. And if you are one or two or both of those things, you know exactly what I mean. There's been lots of changes, and many things are out of our control, but how we navigate and how we move and how we allow certain things to affect us is definitely in our control. And there is a softer life beyond trauma, and especially when you're in community with others that are navigating the same things that you are navigating, or those that have gone before you and they have mastered or have navigated that situation pretty well, or they've done something that you're like, wow, they really, did the thing. I'd like to know more about that. I'd like to know how they did that. So that's what I mean by being in community. So peace isn't just a vibe. Just know it's a plan. So you may be navigating some muddy waters now, but that peaceful vibe is just around the corner. Just need a plan. And if you need someone to help manage or help guide you through that plan, I'd be more than happy to help. All right. So I'd like some help from you guys, and I'd like for you to type A, B, or C. And this is going to help me by you voting on what my next content will be on. A, stop throwing away free food. 3 scraps that regrow fast. And then B, sourdough starter fix, too runny versus too thick. C, gentle truth, part 2, boundaries that protect your peace. So again, please drop that in the chat and I will review, and that will help me navigate the next content. So, on that note, I just want to thank you so much for being here with me today. For real, I know this is my first live, so again, please forgive my nervousness, but I did show up my authentic self. This is my demeanor, and this is my mission. I enjoy helping people navigate life changes during these uncertain times. And I have a special affinity towards women that are 50 and over, although I do work with various groups of people. So if you want more of this, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'll keep the content simple and practical. And if you ever want some support getting organized, documents, planning, resources, and gentle accountability, that's what I offer too. No pressure. I'll leave the link after the live for anyone who wants it. All right, friends. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you for spending time with me. Come back anytime you need a soft reset. Let's choose peace on purpose. One small habit, one small win, one gentle day at a time. All right. Bye, friends. I will post what the next short will be about based on your comments. And again, thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to hearing from you in the chat. Bye for now. See you in the next one.